I've been vegan for 1 year. I walk 7 to 9 miles up and down ramps and stairs every night, and I would say I'm 98% inflammation free. I'm stronger and more limber, and I feel like my body is in my 20s again. How did I do it? You're about to find out. Let's go. Welcome to the 1000 Podcast, a warrior's journey of faith, fighting, and lifelong learning. I'm your host, Blair Perrin, and today we are talking about my vegan transformation from 0 days to 365. So yes, I've been vegan for a whole year now, and I feel amazing. Am I still dealing with some things? For sure. I think some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you will help you understand that going vegan to get rid of inflammation and arthritis is a dance. And then, it's going to take a year and maybe even more to kind of figure out the different types of foods that might be able to help serve you, or things that are, really causing pain and inflammation. If this video is of value to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below and let me know, are you on a vegan journey? Let's do it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the reason for why I went vegan. And, everyone goes vegan for a different reason, or, plant-based. And for me, as much as I do love animals, it wasn't because of animals per se, though I've learned a lot about vegan culture and, just their love for animals. Also, I've had decades of discomfort in my body. So between having knee pain where I would just, if I went out to go dance or help someone move, I would be pretty much kaput for 3 days. And I wouldn't be able to do anything because, that's just how much pain I was going through. I had chronic ankle rolling in both my ankles due to sport-related injuries. And last year at this time, as a martial artist who trains in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well as other martial arts, I didn't think I would be training a year or two from then, because I was just having so much pain. I would walk down our flight of stairs. It's just one flight of stairs. And I would, feel so much discomfort in both my hips, my knees, and my ankles, and underneath my feet. And I just had no idea what it was for sure. And so it really wasn't until I was speaking with my mom. So this is kind of the main reason of what got me on this journey was my mother. And so my mom, she had recently, at that time, so a year ago from now, she had recently been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. She was pretty much just in bed or at home and couldn't go to work. She worked at Target overnights, and she helped load and unload the truck. So she was pretty active lifting. And so, for 4 months, she was just in so much pain. She told me, she's like, Blair, I just feel like I'm so old now, and like my hands, my knees, my ankles, all my joints in my body hurt. And so she went to the chiro to see if there's things going on there that the chiro would be able to help with without any helpful results. And then eventually she was convinced to go to the doctor, and that's when she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. The doctor had prescribed her a couple different medications to be able to help with that, but my mom didn't want to stay on those medications. And so at the time, my mom started doing her research and found out that there have been people that have gone into remission from arthritis and inflammation by going vegan. And so I decided to hop on board that wagon, for my own reasons too. But I thought that it would be pretty amazing to be able to go on this vegan journey with her. I think, one of the things that have been really beneficial is that my mom and I are on this journey together, which has been really awesome and helpful for both of us. I think we've both with both of us being able to research at the same time, and my mom definitely more on the nutritional and the different vitamins and supplements that you're able to take in to help with inflammation has been really helpful for me. And then my background in physicality and personal training and things like that was, the both of us together, we make quite the team. And so, yeah, pretty awesome. So yeah, my mom was definitely a huge reason why I've been on this vegan journey and why I've been able to stick with it too. So let's go ahead and talk about present day. So I've been vegan or plant-based for 1 year, 365 days, and I feel a whole lot better. I feel like a whole new me. I was having trouble going down those stairs, one flight of stairs, but now I walk 7 to 9 miles, 4 to 5 nights a week. I work graveyard shift as a security officer, and I go up and down ramps and stairwells, staircases, and yeah, pain-free. And I would say that I'm 98% inflammation free, and there's definitely that dance because I'm still trying new foods and taking out foods that may or may not serve me. I am stronger, I am more limber, and I feel like my body is in my 20s again. And yeah, I just had no idea that going this route would lead me to just feeling a whole lot better. It's like having found the fountain of youth. And am I like promoting that everyone should go vegan? No, not necessarily promoting that everyone should go vegan. I'm really just trying to promote that by eliminating foods, you might be able to find some healing in your joints or in your body that you just never knew that you needed. And I do have a video that's pretty much connected to this, and it is some of the steps that I would take to go vegan. So yeah, take a look at that video for me. Can I just say, if you are dealing with inflammation in your body, maybe dealing with arthritis, my journey might be able to help you figure out some of the steps you might want to consider taking yourself. I'm not a doctor, so I advise going to see one, even if it's just to get some lab work done. It's nice to know like what your base is, where you're starting from. I didn't do that, but I just recently went to the doctor to kind of figure out some things out. I saw that I felt like I was missing out on some vitamins that I needed. I was experiencing some cramping in my body, and so I think I got that figured out. So yeah, make sure you just check out the doctor and get some blood work done. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's talk about the journey and the steps that I've taken from month 0 or day 0 to now, present day. And so my first 3 months was absolutely rough. And so I'm going to talk about some percentages, and 0 is going to be in pain, and then 100% would be pain-free, right? And so you can start your vegan journey or plant-based journey one of two ways: the easy way or the hard way. My other video is going to talk a little bit more about that, but I definitely went the hard way. And my first meal before I went vegan, or my last meal before I went vegan, was a meal at Texas Roadhouse. My wife and I went, and I just ordered a giant steak and had all the rolls and a jumbo margarita, because I was like, man, I'm going to be going plant-based. I wanted one last hurrah. And I absolutely paid for it. For a whole week, my joints were so inflamed, and was it worth it? Definitely not. But that was my choice. So those first few weeks, I was eating a lot of stir fry. I didn't know what to eat, really. When you think about going vegan, all you think about is like, oh, I can only have, fruits and plants, and that is it. Could I have went a different route and kind of just gradually went into a plant-based diet? For sure, that's definitely the more wise and easier way to do it. But for me, I was 0 to 100, and I went 100% plant-based when I decided to, and it was great to do that, in a sense of I knew how much pain I was feeling after eating that last meal. and for that whole week. And so that was an extreme motivator for me to be like, all right, now that I'm in all this pain, now what can I do, or what foods can I begin to eliminate that I'm going to notice, in my body, whether it's working or not. And so, yes, my hunger level was at a level 10, and I was certainly hangry often. And so, that was probably just due to the lack of calories. You won't tend to find out how much calories you're supposed to take in. I feel like it's different. It feels different than when I've been eating meat, and when you're going from meat to a plant-based diet, you're going to have to, one, get a journal and start writing things down so you kind of know how things can make you feel. And then also, I would suggest downloading an app, kind of like MyFitnessPal. That way, if you have never tracked the different types of foods that you consume and the amount of calories, the vitamins and things that you're taking in, MyFitnessPal app might be really helpful for being able to track those things. That first month was definitely really rough, the first 3 months, but about a month and a half in, I was 80% pain-free. So let's go from 0, because I had that Texas Roadhouse, right? And I was in so much more pain. And now, a month and a half later, going on this plant-based diet, I am 80% pain-free. I'm also down 10 pounds. I'm not trying to lose weight, but that was just, I was definitely under my caloric intake. At that time, I also began exploring restaurants, because you're going to begin to miss a lot of different things. I was missing out on pizza, I was missing, cheese in general. And so my wife and I, we began exploring the different areas, both in Aurora and in Denver. So we're lucky to be in a big enough city where there are a lot of other people here that are going the vegan route, and that there are restaurants that, some restaurants that are fully plant-based, and then others you can definitely find plant-based options. And so exploring restaurants was probably one of my favorite things to do. And Cindy and I, we still do that today. I feel like we've hit most restaurants in our time. So we've used those opportunities to go on dates and try new foods. And it's definitely opened my eyes up to just different things that I might enjoy. And so also, I learned from every restaurant that I went to and the different meals that I would be able to get. I learned and I remembered some of the flavors that I enjoyed, because, for me, what was helpful was that I would learn it and then I would apply it to the kitchen. And so, I would take some recipes. I'm like, oh yeah, I really like that Indian dish. And so instead of having to go out to eat all the time, or staying home and eating a really bland stir-fry diet, I was learning and growing, and that was going to be helpful and beneficial to the rest of my journey. And so, in the first couple months, or even prior to, if you're thinking about going plant-based, it might be something awesome to consider, thinking about going to these different restaurants just to get an idea. But also, it's fun. I started also testing foods about a month and a half in. And so with being 80% pain-free, I think it was a great place to start seeing if I ate a piece of meat or a piece of fish, which those are different things that I definitely did. And I would immediately feel the difference. So if I ate something like meat or fish, whether it was chicken or beef, I would be inflamed for about 2 or 3 days, if not a little bit more, because I feel like it just takes a whole lot longer for it to process through your body. I did experiment with taking in cheese and dairy, which doesn't last as long, but I could definitely still tell that by eating or drinking those things, that it was just not worth it for me. So month 2.5, I'm 90% pain free. Both that last month and this month I would be down 10 pounds. So I was about at 180 pounds, and now I was down to 150 pounds. And so I lost a lot of fat, but definitely losing some muscle there too. And so from this place, I'm still continuing testing foods. That never really changes. I'm still now, present day, testing out different foods because it's going to be important. I think you want to get pretty specific on what you can or can't have, and if you needed to or wanted to splurge a little bit, especially because you don't want this to hinder your lifestyle so much that if you're out to eat with friends or family, that you're so strict that you're just there eating a salad, because that's no fun. So testing and recording foods is so important. My hands all the time, I'm a grappler, so there's a lot of gripping with the gi, and my hands in the morning would be inflamed, especially my right hand. And so my right hand would be at this like 90-degree angle, like meaning that I couldn't close it all the way, and it would be here it could be for a half hour up to 2 hours before it worked its way to a fist comfortably. But if I tried to squeeze my hand right away, it would definitely be painful and discomforting. And so that was a big indicator of like what foods am I needing to still eliminate, but also are there foods and minerals or supplements that I would be able to take in to help for anti-inflammation. I also started introducing oatmeal into my diet. I needed something that was gonna help keep me full in the mornings. So I figured having oatmeal and peanut butter, that would be extremely helpful. And so what I found out for that whole next month, let's move on to month 3.5 or 3.5. I'm back at a 50%. And so I'm having a whole lot more pain in my joints, in my hands. My hands are inflamed, and I didn't know what it was. It wasn't until I spoke to my mom, and she was like, "Have you been eating oatmeal?" And I was like, yeah, but isn't that that's not meat? And that was totally what it was. I eventually took out oatmeal, coffee, and red wine. I found that all of those things led to inflammation for me. And so I took all those things out in a single day. So if you're a coffee drinker, I'm sure that's a big deal and you might need a wean off. But for me, once again, I went from 0 to 100, and I was like, I just don't want to have pain anymore. And so, I eliminated all of those 3 things: oatmeal, coffee, red wine. And so at that point, I was at 150 pounds. So month 4.5, after being off those 3 things, still at 150 pounds, still practicing things like jiu-jitsu and Filipino martial arts. I was still really active. I had no loss in strength, and I was making sure I was getting my protein in. And so at that point, I was back at 90%. So really feeling good. In the next few months, I was still doing those same different things. I was figuring things out, and I started a new job at month 9. So at month 9, I was at 90 to 98%. And so now really feeling great. I started my new job. It allowed me to walk 7 to 9 miles a night, 4 to 5 nights a week. I added calories to my diet, a significant amount of calories, and I started strength training. And so from month 9 to month 12, from 150 pounds to 165 pounds. I'm lean, stronger, still trying and testing foods, and really that's the journey that I've been on up until now. And I will continue to test, for the whole next year. And I think that's really all that I've got to say, except for, the myth of, can you build muscle without eating meat or dairy? And I just want to say, heck yeah, you can. And it's been a really fun journey of getting back in shape. One of the things that I noticed while I've been in the gym is that I have been able to recover a whole lot faster. And usually in the past that I would go like 3 to 4 months in the gym, and then I would either get injured or my body would just be overly exhausted or overtrained, and I would just have to stop for a little while. But now I feel like I am in the gym consistently, and as well as doing all the different martial arts and athletics that I do. So I think that is it. That has been my journey up until now. I hope this video is helpful for you. I hope I'm able to relay some of the different things that might be able to help you. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Maybe I'll do another video on different specifics, or maybe the different foods that I'm eating to be able to gain muscle, or my routine at the gym. Also, I think it'll be really awesome to do a video with my mom, and yeah, so she is able to just convey some of her experiences, and maybe she might be able to give us some dope recipes. And I know she has an amazing recipe shake that she and her the person that she's with just love to drink. So yeah, I think that's it. So thank you so much once again just for supporting this podcast. I hope this has been valuable to you. I know this has always been fun for me. And so until next time, check out one of my other videos, the video that's connected to this one, the different steps of you need to take to go vegan. So that's it. That's a wrap. I'm Blair Perrin, and this is the 1000 Podcast. Peace out.